You hear about retirement millionaires everywhere on social media, but the truth from the Federal Reserve will make your skin crawl. Only 3 out of every 100 people you meet on the street actually have $1 million in their retirement accounts. The other 97% are walking into their golden years with a financial time bomb ticking in their pockets. $1 million used to be the ultimate dream, the gold standard of a successful life. But in today's economy, with the cost of living hitting new highs every month, that $1 million has become the bare minimum for survival. If you have been feeling a sense of dread when you look at your bank balance, you are not lazy and you are not alone. You are simply playing a game where the rules were changed while you were sleeping. Today, we are going to pull back the curtain on why 97% of Americans fail to hit that $1 million mark. More importantly, I am going to show you the exact roadmap used by the 3% who actually make it. Before we dive into the data that the big banks do not want you to see, please take a second to support the channel. If you find this information valuable, hit the like button and subscribe so you do not miss our weekly deep dives into financial freedom. And please, leave a comment below letting me know what your target retirement number is for 2026. I read every single one of them. Now, let us look at the numbers. According to the latest 2026 reports from Vanguard and Fidelity, the median retirement balance for people aged 55 to 64 is only about $185,000. Think about that for a moment. $185,000 sounds like a decent amount of money until you try to live off it for 20 or 30 years. If you follow the traditional financial advice and withdraw 4% a year, that is only $7,400 per year. That is less than $620 a month. In 2026, that will barely cover your groceries and a tank of gas, let alone your housing or medical bills. So why is there such a massive gap between the 3% and everyone else? The first reason is what experts call the home equity trap. Many Americans feel wealthy because their house is worth $800,000 or even $1 million. But you cannot eat your kitchen cabinets. You cannot pay for a heart surgeon with your backyard. Being house rich and cash poor is one of the most dangerous positions to be in when you stop receiving a paycheck. The 3% understand that liquidity is king. They do not just build equity in a home, they build cash flow in liquid accounts that they can actually spend. The second reason for the 97% failure rate is a psychological phenomenon called lifestyle creep. As people earn more in their 40s and 50s, they tend to buy bigger cars, better vacations, and more expensive gadgets. They tell themselves they will save more later. But in 2026, later has finally arrived, and the 401k balances have not kept up with the luxury upgrades. The 3% have a different mindset. They do not look for ways to spend their raises. They look for ways to hide that money from themselves through automation. They treat their future self like a high-priority bill that must be paid first every single month. Now, let us talk about the biggest enemy of your retirement in 2026: inflation. If you have $1 million today, it does not buy what $1 million bought 10 years ago. In fact, due to the cumulative inflation of the last few years, your $1 million today has the purchasing power that $700,000 had just a short time ago. The 97% react to this by getting scared and moving their money into cash or savings accounts. They think they are being safe. But in reality, keeping your money in a standard savings account in 2026 is like watching your ice cream melt in the sun. You are losing 3 to 5% of your wealth every year just by standing still. The 3% do the opposite. They embrace calculated risk. They know that to beat inflation, they must own assets that grow faster than the cost of bread and eggs. They stay invested in the S&P 500, in high-quality real estate, and in businesses that have pricing power. They do not check their balance every day when the market is red, because they know that volatility is the price you pay for long-term growth. But there is a number that even the 3% are starting to fear in 2026. And that is the cost of long-term care. Did you know that 70% of people over the age of 65 will need some form of long-term care services? A semi-private room in a nursing home now averages over $100,000 per year in many states. If you have $1 million and you need 5 years of care, half of your life savings is gone in an instant. This is where the 3% really separate themselves. They do not just save money, they manage risk. They look into long-term care insurance or hybrid policies early while they are still healthy. They understand that one health crisis can wipe out 40 years of hard work if they are not protected. In 2026, the complexity of the financial system has reached a tipping point. The tax laws have shifted, and the traditional methods of saving are no longer sufficient for the average worker. If you are counting on Social Security to be your primary source of income, you are betting against the math. While Social Security is a vital backbone, it was never designed to be a full replacement for a middle-class income. The 3% elite group knows this, which is why they diversify their income streams long before the retirement party starts. They look for dividend-paying stocks, real estate rental income, and even small side businesses that can generate passive revenue. In the current landscape of 2026, having multiple buckets of money is not a luxury, it is a necessity. Let us dig deeper into the actual mechanics of a successful 2026 retirement. Tax diversification is perhaps the most overlooked strategy by the 97%. The problem with this is that you have a silent partner in your account called the Internal Revenue Service. Every time you take $1 out to buy bread or pay rent, the government takes their cut first. If tax rates increase in the future, your $1 million might actually only be worth $700,000 after Uncle Sam takes his portion. By paying some taxes now at a known rate, they protect themselves from the uncertainty of future tax hikes. This kind of forward thinking is exactly what separates the comfortable from the struggling. Another major factor in 2026 is the rapid evolution of healthcare technology. While we are living longer, the cost of that longevity is skyrocketing. Maintenance drugs, advanced therapies, and personalized medicine are keeping us alive, but they are also draining retirement accounts faster than ever before. If you have not factored a 5% annual increase in healthcare costs into your plan, your $1 million will evaporate long before you reach your 90th birthday. They contribute to these accounts during their working years, let the money grow tax-free, and then use it to pay for medical expenses in retirement with tax-free withdrawals. It is a triple tax advantage that most people simply ignore until it is too late. If you are sitting there at age 50 or 55 and you realize you are far behind the $1 million mark, do not panic. The Internal Revenue Service allows what are called catch-up contributions. If you are over 50, you can put extra thousands of dollars into your 401k and IRA every year. But the most powerful tool in your arsenal is what I call the 3-year golden window. Study those. They give you 3 more years of maximum contributions. And most importantly, they increase your monthly Social Security check for the rest of your life. Think of it as a final surge. It is another strategy the 3% use is optimizing their withdrawal sequence. Most people just pull money from wherever they see a balance. The winner in 2026, taxes are one of your biggest expenses. If you can lower your tax bracket in retirement by using a mix of Roth and traditional accounts, you effectively give yourself a 10 to 20% raise without needing a single extra dollar in the bank. Let us also talk about the psychological shift required to succeed in this new era. The 97% are often paralyzed by the 24-hour news cycle. They see a headline about a market crash or a political crisis, and they sell their investments at the worst possible time. They buy when things are expensive and sell when they are cheap. This emotional roller coaster is a wealth killer. In contrast, the 3% have a written investment policy statement. They know exactly what to do when the market drops because they decided their strategy years ago. They see a market correction as a sale, an opportunity to buy high-quality assets at a discount. They understand that the only people who get hurt on a roller coaster are the ones who jump off while it is still moving. I want you to take a deep breath and realize something important. Having $1 million is not about being rich. It is about dignity. It is about the freedom to say no to things you do not want to do. It is about not having to look at your children as a financial backup plan. It is about being able to walk into a hospital and focus on getting better, instead of focusing on how you will pay the bill. The path to the 3% is not paved with lottery tickets or lucky stock picks. It is built with boring, consistent, and disciplined choices. It is about ignoring the noise and sticking to a plan that works. As we move further into 2026, the gap between the haves and the have-nots will only grow wider. The question is, which side of that gap will you be on? If you are ready to take control, start by looking at your numbers today. Be honest with yourself about where you are. Then pick one thing you can change this week. Maybe it is increasing your contribution by 1%. Maybe it is moving some of that stagnant cash into a low-cost index fund. The 3% did not get there overnight. They got there one decision at a time. Before we finish today, I want to remind you to hit that like button if this video helped you see things more clearly. Subscribe to the channel so we can keep building your financial fortress together throughout 2026. And do not forget to drop a comment below. Tell me, what is the biggest obstacle stopping you from reaching that $1 million goal? Is it debt? Is it the cost of living? Or is it just not knowing where to start? Your comments help us create the content you actually need to hear. We are in this journey together, and your success is the goal of this community. By staying informed and taking proactive steps, you are already ahead of 90% of the population. Do not let the fear of the future stop you from building a better one. Every dollar you save today is a seed for a tree that will provide shade for you tomorrow. The world of 2026 is moving fast, and the traditional safety nets are fraying at the edges. But for those who are willing to learn, willing to adapt, and willing to take action, the opportunities for wealth and security have never been greater. Remember, it is never too late to start, but it is always too late to wait. The 3% started exactly where you are right now. The only difference is that they decided to move. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I am truly honored to be a part of your financial journey. Keep pushing forward, keep learning, and stay disciplined. I will see you in the next video.